Hi guys and dolls, how are you? I hope you are well. All right, so we're going to do a little story time, but first we're going to do a little gem lesson. Hey, we haven't done one in a while. Don't get all stressed out. It's all good. So I told you guys that I had a large pink sapphire that I was going to show you, okay? And I finally got it. So here it is. It is an engagement ring. It is pink sapphire, and it came from... Are you going to focus? Or are you not going to focus? What are you going to do? Anyway, it came from... This is my left hand, by the way. In the camera, it shows right, but it's my left. It is an engagement ring. I fell head over heels in love with it when I saw it, and she's a beauty, and she's gorgeous. With a double halo, it is a low profile, as you can see. It's a low profile, okay? So it doesn't sit up too high. It's actually perfect for an engagement ring because, we'll talk about why. It doesn't have a high profile, so it doesn't sit really high. It doesn't get in the way. It's got a double halo effect around it. Okay, so this is the halo. The edges are a halo. It's got a double halo effect. And I don't wear it that much, but I will probably start wearing it more. You can see the back of it. The back of it is open. And you can see the back of the stone. And you could also see the fastening in the back of the stone. Now, facets are fascinating to me. I don't know how they do that, but it's pretty freaking cool. It's cool. Can you tell I like to get stone for stones? So yeah, sometimes it's a little loose, but because it's not real heavy, it doesn't swing around the finger a lot, which is really nice. Okay, but I'll wear it now because why not? Bam! Actually, I have about 3 or 4 engagement rings from the same person, right? But we'll talk about that, why, in a second. Okay, so anyway, this is picture. Okay, let's talk about what pink sapphire is. Pink sapphire is the same material that a ruby is made of, but because it's not red, it's considered a sapphire, but it's corundum, which is what rubies are. Okay, these are some pictures. I don't know if you'll be able to see those. Probably not. Well, maybe. There we go. If I go at an angle, you see them better. These are some loose pink sapphires. See, if I go straight, it disappears. If I go to an angle, you could see it better. Pink sapphires, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so let's talk about what it is. Pink sapphires are made of the mineral corundum that is colored by trace elements of chromium. Chromium is a mineral, and the chromium in the stone creates the pink, okay, the pink color. This is how they get their beautiful color. If the chromium content is high, you will get a deeper red color, which in turn makes the stone a ruby. So this would normally or should be called a pink ruby because it's the same thing that a ruby is made of, but it is considered a pink sapphire instead. Why, I don't know. They're made of the same thing a ruby's made of. Okay, so the reason they make pink sapphires over 1 carat are rare, and a pink sapphire over 4 carats counts as extremely rare. The prices and value of pink sapphire are vary depending on the pink, light to dark pink, Burma pink, power pink, shocking pink, bubblegum pink. So there's different shades of pink. So it's basically the same thing as a ruby, but it's considered a sapphire instead of a ruby. The reason why it makes a very, very, very good, this is a couple of carats. This is probably, over 3 carats, 3.5 carats, maybe close to 4. I'm not sure. The color is stunning. Okay, I'm in love with the color. It's good for an everyday ring because, again, as you see, it's a low profile, so it doesn't catch on anything. And there's some prongs, but just 4 prongs and the halo, and there's nothing to really catch and grab on things. It's just a stunner. I would say it's close to 3.5 to 4 carats. I don't know, but to find a pink sapphire this big is almost unheard of. All right. And it came from India. So maybe they're more prone to get larger stones and pink sapphire. There's just not a lot that we're able to access over here, apparently, where it would be, uh, um, we would get them in such large carats. Okay. The reason I have so many, so many engagement rings is they all came from the same person. All right. Before you say, you lucky ass bitch, before you even go there, it's not that kind of party. All right. I have a rhodolite, a red rhodolite, a pink sapphire. I have a few more rings that he got me that were engagement rings. I can't remember now. Oh, the lavender sapphire is also an engagement ring that I got from the same person. However, this person lived in another country. They lived in Canada. Okay. I've known this person for over 10 years. And he said he was getting me, bought me gifts throughout the years. And so he wasn't stingy with his money, nor did he fall in love with his money. But he was in love with something else, and we'll go into that in a second. He bought me multiple rings. And because he said he was getting me a ring, and I was joking. And I said, what is it, an engagement ring? And he said, what if it was? I didn't know what to say because he called my bluff. And I was not prepared for that. I was so not prepared. So that's how it started. And so he got me one, and I said, well, that's good for starters. And I was joking. Well, he got me more because he knows I'm a gemaholic. Here's the problem. We knew each other for 10 years. We were very close friends for 10 years. But he is in an emotional, incestuous relationship with his mother. Don't think that when you hear the word incest, you think of sex. Emotional incest is when you are bonded to someone, a family member, one of your parents. You're emotionally bonded with them like a spouse would be. And because he's bonded with her, he can never leave her. So yes, he threw me all these jewels, and he bought me another silver ring that is an owl. The eyes are ambers, which is really cool. But he's never leaving his mom. Okay. So he dragged ass on, come in here, dragged ass. I got to see you in person. We're engaged. I want to make it official. I want to see you in person. And he was never going to do it because he cannot leave his mother. Okay. One of the ways that a person becomes, and this is an orange, quartz. Orange type of quartz from India. It also came from India. Anyway, he's when a person is emotionally, they become emotionally in an incestuous relationship with a parent, for example. The parent makes the child their spouse. They talk about their love life. They talk about what's going on in their life. They talk about issues with their real spouse if they're married. They basically confide in them and hold that person responsible for them. So instead of confiding in your spouse, which is what you do, you make your child your spouse, and you confide in them, and you bond with them. And in turn, that person feels responsible for you. And it's almost like you're married to in his case, he's married to his mother. His father is almost there for decoration because I don't know if she can't connect to her husband or if she developed this. Her dad, when his mom was little, the dad was an alcoholic and he deserted his family, his kids. So to prevent her son, this is just me surmising, I think that she connected to her son in an abnormal way because a spouse can leave you, but I don't ever want my son to leave me. So she connected with him in such a way that he not only acts like her spouse, if he gets with another woman, that relationship is not going to work because he already has a woman. He's enmeshed with his mother. Okay. He cannot break away. And so I think a lot of it has to do with her dad deserting her when she was little. And a spouse, your husband, could easily tell you one day, peace out, I'm done, but I don't want my son to ever leave me. The girls are older. His sisters are older. They moved out of the house and everything else. He not only has an emotionally incestuous relationship with his mom, and I've talked about this in another video. Um, he lives downstairs. He's over 40. He lives downstairs in his mom's basement. He lays on a twin-sized bed like a child would live. And he's emotionally connected to surgically attached to his mother to where he cannot function with another woman. So he kept delaying coming to see me, and I couldn't figure out what in the shit's going on, and I was getting pissed. And then I don't know. The last straw with me, because we were supposedly engaged for over a year, there were times that I'd forget to put the ring on, probably because I didn't really feel engaged. I'd never even met your ass in person yet. And yes, we had a solid 10-year friendship, and everything was fine if we had stayed friends. But when you have expectations of him, you're supposed to be involved with this woman. You're supposed to tell your family, hey, mom, dad, this woman means the world to me. I'm going to marry her. And he never did that because he already has a wife. His mother is his wife. Okay, when she puked, I'm just keep it real with y'all. When she puked in the bathroom, he broke his ass to get up the stairs or run down the hall or whatever to go clean it up. He's going to clean up after his wife. He acts like she cannot function without him, and she has probably set that up in his head to where if he were to get involved with someone else, she would make him feel guilty. You're going to go be with her, and I'm the one that puts a roof over your head. I'm the one that puts food in your stomach. I'm the one that takes care of you. She's never done any of that for you, and you're going to run off with her? It would not surprise me if that is the way she guilt trips him into staying with her forever. Now, if the mother dies, his wife dies before him, he's screwed. He will become his dad's new wife, and he will bond severely with his dad to where he can't function outside of that situation, period. Because he was supposedly engaged to, he was going to get engaged to this one girl, and he claimed that she was seeing other people. Probably she realized he was never leaving his wife, his mother. And women are not going to wait for you forever. If you want to play games, you just go ahead and get the hell up out of here. So that relationship came to a screeching halt. And she was in the same country where he was, in Canada. And so she was like, I need to be with a real man. I need a man that's going to be with me and actually be with me, not enjoy all the fun of a relationship without committing. Okay? So, yeah, on one hand, yeah, he kind of threw jewelry at me, bought me nice gifts throughout the years, but I never was going to meet him in person despite him lying and saying that I would meet him. It was never going to happen. And I was starting to lose my patience. I said, more than once, I said, I'm not going to babysit you, okay? I'm not going to tell you what you need to do in order to see me. You need to get a passport. This is pre-COVID. You need to get a passport. You need to get your paperwork in order. You need to get an ID because he didn't have a real ID because he took the bus every freaking where. Didn't have a car. Wasn't interested in getting a driver's license. He's stunted mentally. He's stuck in the mindset of a child because she took away his identity and gave him the identity of you're my husband. Okay. So he's going to stay stunted as a child. The daughters don't do that. One of them got married. She's got 4 kids. She homeschools her kids. The other daughter is single. She don't deal with nobody. I don't blame her because the quality out here sucks. And she's been in bad relationships before and she's done with that crap and I don't blame her. Okay. But, yeah. The last straw, my patience was wearing thin after we were supposedly engaged for like a year plus. My patience was wearing thin. And even one of my family members was like, well, y'all need to meet in person. I said, trust me, I know. It wasn't never going to happen. And I asked a counselor online, a therapist, I said, this is what's going on. Is this emotional incest? He said, there's a lot of dynamics going on and emotional incest is at the top of the list. which I suspected that what it was, but I just wanted to confirm with him. And he was like, yeah, that's, but he's in the mindset of a child. He is stuck in a mindset of a child. I don't even want a grown-up bed. I want to sleep on a twin-size bed like a kid. Who does that? So the final straw, this is when I lost patience with him for good. The final straw was when I said, when are you going to get your ass here? And he said, well, everything got delayed because of COVID. That is not what happened. That was when I cussed him out, called him a loser, and I decided I'm not going to be friends with him anymore because he cannot keep his word. If you can't keep your word, you cannot be a part of my life. And since you're married to someone else, I didn't know that he was emotionally incestuous with his mother. I didn't know that, but I knew that something was going on that was preventing him from hopping his ass on a plane. First, he blamed it on fear. Oh, I'm terrified to fly. I've never flown before. Take a sedative before you get on the goddamn plane. You could get something to calm your nerves. But he always had, and then the paperwork wasn't in order. And then in order for us to get married, we would need an attorney. If you want to do it correctly, you need to have an attorney. Okay? It's an immigration attorney. And he didn't seem like he was really jumping on that wagon either. It just seemed like he was dilly-dallying. So I went and got an attorney, or he found someone and I talked to them, and it's like, oh, I forget, $4,000, and it's just a mess. And he wasn't pushing to do anything that needed to be done. And I don't want to tell a grown-ass person, this is what you need to do, pumpkin. This is a list of all the stuff you need to do. This is at the top of the list, and we got to go through the list, okay? I'm not doing that with your ass. You're supposed to be grown. You're supposed to be an adult, which he's not. But you're supposed to be an adult. I'm not going to hold your hand and tell you what needs to be done. You know what needs to be done. And he never brought it up either. So it was kind of like, yeah, we're supposedly engaged, but we're kind of not, because I'm married to my mom. I didn't know at the time. I just knew that he was unusually close with her to the point where he almost couldn't function without her. And then I discovered the term emotional incest from somebody online. Her father was in an emotionally incestuous relationship with her. Talked to her about all his women problems. They will talk to you about sex problems, what happened in their relationship or the worst relationship they ever had. They talk to you like you are another adult. So they're pulling you into an adult role. But in his case, in this particular individual's case that I was supposedly engaged to, fake engaged, he's got the mindset of a child, and she prevented him from growing on his own, but she put him in a spouse position. So you're actually taking a little kid. He's got a little kid mindset, and you're putting him in the role of a grown-up, and he's not a grown-up. So it's almost like you're a child and you're wearing grown-up clothes, and the sleeve is like way down here and the pants are dragging on the floor because you're trying to become something that you're not. So it was just a big psychological disaster, and I was done with it, and I realized through time it was never going to happen. And so I left it alone, cussed him out, called him a loser and everything else, and then that was it. So a 10-year friendship got kicked to the curb, got kicked to the wayside. I cannot be friends with someone who cannot be honest with me. He probably don't realize that he's married to his mother, but he is. And I'm telling you right now, when you're that surgically attached to someone where you are enmeshed with them, if they die first, you're screwed. Because you can't live on your own. You're a child still. You're still a child. I tried to get him to go to school. You have to further your education. In today's day and age, there's not a lot of ways around it. You should further your education. Well, he's addicted to movies and how they're made and all the special effects, and he's so fascinated with that, and he knows how this is made and that is made. And I said, you need to go to school for that. Well, when he was supposedly engaged to someone else, he was going to school, but then she dumped him, and then he lost all his ambition. He had no more desire to go to school. He had no more desire to further his education. He has no desire to ever change jobs to a better job that makes more money. He's never going to do that. He's happy where his life is. And it's another discussion that we had before I was done with him. I said, your problem is your life is too cozy as it is. You are way too comfortable with your life the way it is. So there really isn't any room for anyone else because you're not trying to make any changes. You know, his parents provide a roof over his head. They put food in his stomach. They help each other financially. They help each other buy groceries. He'll buy the groceries for his parents and then he lets them sit on their ass while he puts all the groceries away. So he has the mindset of a child, but he's trying to act like an adult. So like his psychological growth has been stunted, but at the same time, he was shoved into this adult role, but he's still a child. He will never change careers. He will never make more money. He'll be stuck at that job until he dies, probably. He's way too comfortable where he's at. So, hey, I'm not going to twist your arm and make you come here and give you ultimatums. Keep your ass over there. Okay? Keep your ass over there. But yeah, in order to get involved, and see, here's another thing. With Canadian law, you get married, if you're not a citizen, you get married to this person, and then they send you back to your country, which I'm in US, obviously. You get married to them, and then you have to go back to your country for 6 months while they investigate to make sure you're not a murderer, fugitive, escaping the law, whatever. They make sure that you're safe to have in the country. Why they don't do that before you get married is beyond me. Now, if I were to move to Canada and I were to say, baby, I got a house right next to your parents' house, and we can move it. We could get married and move in, and you'll be right next to your other wife. And I covered everything financially. The only thing you have to do is get off of her couch and then walk a few steps and come into this house and sit on the couch over here. He would have been fine with that if he didn't have to do anything. If I was willing to be his mother, he would have sat on his fat ass and he wouldn't have did anything to make our future happen. He can't have a future with someone else because he has a future with his mother until she dies. If she dies first, he is so hosed, it's not funny. Okay? He is hosed. And other people in the family are going to have to provide a roof over his head. I'm not kidding. They'll have to provide a roof over his head because he cannot live on his own. He is married to his mother, but he's a child. So he'll never make it with another woman, ever. And he has flirted, before we went on the page of so-called engaged, he was flirting with this one woman. He used to babysit for her. He reached out to her when she was online. She responded to him. They hung out. She came on to him sexually. And he wasn't interested. She revealed her boobs to him. And he's like, that's nice. They're nice. So I said, why didn't you do something with her? You were talking about her booty. And you were still talking about her booty. This is, like I said, before we were supposedly involved. And then when she's wanting to give you, I always admired you had the nicest ass. And he talked all this shit until she turns around and comes on to him, and then he hides underneath the coffee table. The boy got problems. He got serious problems. I said, you talked all that smack. You hit on her like a ton of bricks, and then when she wants to give you some, you want to backtrack? Why are you doing that? Oh, well, I said, you started this shit. Well, why you keep saying it? Because you did. You started this. You came on to her. You reached out to her. She didn't come over there and grab you out of your freaking house and make you go out with her. You reached out to her first. And then as soon as she wanted you, in a relationship and get physical, you ran away. That's not the first time he's done that either. He did that with another girl. And she's way younger than him. And he's not a control freak. He's not. But he's got other problems. So I told him, she's coming on to you. Women can see things that another woman is doing with you that you maybe can't see. And I said, she wants to do you. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Yes, she does. And then when She tried to get with him sexually. He wouldn't respond, and pretended he didn't notice. And then finally she said, well, my parents have a cabin. Why don't we spend a weekend there? I said, didn't I tell you she wanted to do you? Didn't I tell you that? Well, my ass. And then he proceeds to tell me, yeah, we were talking and she sent me a picture of her boobs. No shit, Sherlock. I told you she wanted to do you. What's wrong with you? You come on to women and then when they respond to you, you back off. Why? Well, okay. You know, it's just ludicrous. So you see what I mean by being a child mindset, but married to the mother. So he obviously has some significant psychological issues. There's not too many straight, emphasis on straight, not too many straight men that are gonna avoid a woman when he's been hitting on her. She tries to give you some. The one girl showed her boobs and he's like, those are nice. And then the other girl's trying to spend the weekend with you because you're not catching a clue any other way that she wants to do you. So she's trying to put you in a situation where you're in a cabin with her for the whole weekend. You should get a clue then. Well, he backed out of it. Well, I can't go because of this and that and the other. The boy got a lot of problems. So he will be single probably forever. And when his wife dies / mother, he's probably going to bottom out because he won't be able to function without her. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't know if he's going to end up in a padded cell somewhere. I don't know, but he's got some significant problems. Not too many straight men turn down boobs and ass and all of that. They don't turn it down. They just don't. Especially when you came on to them and they respond back to you like, hey, big boy, what's up? And you're like, I'm sorry. Really? You fucking weirdo? Ugh. So anyway, and we had never been physical. Obviously, we're in 2 different countries, and I had no desire to do any of that because I didn't want our so-called connection based on physical. And it was easy for us to not do anything because we're in other, 2 different countries. So, but yeah, I can't be wife number 2, and I'm not gonna be wife number 2. But I have some beautiful gems to show for it. But that's all I've got because he was not serious. Okay. Anyway, story time and gem time. Oh, so real quickly. This is a perfect gem for engagement ring because it's as tough as ruby. It's pretty strong on the Mohs scale, MOHS. Other gem like rubies, blue sapphires, pink sapphires, yellow sapphires, diamonds, moissanite. Those are all very good gems for engagement rings. But pearls, opals, emeralds, any other stone is not going to be good for an engagement ring because they cannot wither and stand the everyday banging and bopping and whatever. It's not designed for everyday use because those stones are not, they're softer stones. So they're not going to be appropriate for every day. Now, if you freak out, you have your regular engagement ring, right? And your grandma gave you her engagement ring, which is a pearl or an opal or an emerald, and it drives you crazy that you can't wear it because it's so gorgeous. You can wear it, but I would not advise wearing it every day because those stones are too soft to be used every single day. It's just not going to stand the test of time with that. It's not. And unless you want your grandma's ring broken or the stone to fall out, you better listen, all right? You can wear it going to dinner or going to a special event or something like that. As soon as you come home, you take it off. Or, wear it for special occasions. If you ever want to know the strength of a stone, just put in pearls, MOHS, and it will tell you. Pearls are super soft. Opals are very soft. As I said, emeralds are very soft. What other stones? Just about every other stone is not going to be an everyday stone. Morganite, for some people, it's a softer stone too. Some people get that in their engagement ring. Some people do very well with that. I think there's a lady that's had hers for 4 years. They've been engaged and married, and she's not had any problems with it. If you're tough with your stones, you're going to tear that morganite right up and break it in half or knock it out of its setting or something like that. So it depends on how rough you are. But yeah, diamonds, sapphires, rubies, moissanites, those are going to be perfect for everyday engagement ring stones and settings in an engagement ring. um 10 karat rose gold is okay. White gold and yellow gold are going to be and platinum are going to be stronger metals for every single day use. And I would not, and I've told you guys this before, do not expose your jewelry to harsh chemicals. It's not designed for that. It can change the color of the stone permanently. Just don't just use common sense. Okay, you don't want to wear them when you're cooking. You get grease all over it or whatever, and getting flour and whatnot all over it. You just don't use some common sense. Vacuuming the house, doing chores, I wouldn't wear them. Just because you're not necessarily paying close attention to your hand and you're bopping it around, and next thing you know, you've got a problem. So just be smart, take good care of your gems, and if you're not sure how to clean them, use like a mild dish soap, like oh, what is it called? It's white. I can't remember. Just a mild soap in a baby toothbrush with super soft bristles. You can clean your stones and your diamonds with that. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you enjoyed. Y'all take care. Love you. Bye.